Here we have a 2015 on a 15 registration Yutong TC9 35-seat coach. So, we are just on the outskirts of Carnarvon in North Wales, on the edge of the Snowdonia National Park, at Carmel Coaches. Now, Carmel is one of those operators that have bought quite a few vehicles through me in the last few years, but never actually had one for me to sell until now, and I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed. I think for 10 years old, you'll struggle to find a cleaner little Yutong than this. She's fresh out of the paint shops, been repainted at KC Coach Works, which work over at Pat's of Wrexham. Those boys always do a phenomenal paint job. Alloy wheels fitted, something you don't see on TC9s of this age. Power operated rear continental door. Honestly, she's like out the box. Under the bonnet, Euro 6 Cummins engine. That's driven through ZF Ecolite fully automatic gearbox. Reverse cameras also fitted. This is one that I sold him recently. Down the near side again, straight as a ruler. Parallel opening lockers with a reasonable amount of luggage space. I think the downside of these is because the lockers are parallel openers rather than normal hinge lockers, they hang quite low. It's not a fun task loading them because you have to get so low down to the ground. But luggage is reasonable for the size of vehicle. I think if you had a full load, you'd have to do a bit of like thinking about it. You couldn't just lob them in. But it's what makes these vehicles are so popular. These little Yutongs. I've been since the 14th century into the UK. Anyway, as we jump on board, first thing I do is replace those two mats. But other than that, you've got 35 reclining seats. This is sort of when the TCs, the 12 and the 9, first came into the UK, you literally had a choice of two interiors, red or blue. For me, the red looks better. This one's still got all bar 2 of its anti-massacres, or macassars, or mascaras, or whatever they call them. I got told off because I didn't know the right word. But yeah, the only two that are missing are the two in the back corners, which you wouldn't really notice. That's why I always say if you lose them, just lose the back corners, and it's hard to tell. Every so often, you get a 240 volt socket. Did I mention 3-point seat belts are fitted? Seats also benefit from sideways movement, which, whilst a bit stiff, still does work. You've got a carpet to the aisle. As I said, I don't think at 10 years old you will find a cleaner one of these. Honestly, you won't. Ready to go to work, this. Down at the business end, standard Yutong dash, which is very, very well laid out for the driver. There has been a sort of upgrade on the heater controls because they're prone to the unit failing, the original unit, so they've been bypassed with more simpler controls, really. Just a saloon and a heater, saloon and a front temperature, and it's sorted the job out pretty much. One thing you should always take note of when you get on one of these is look at the driver's seat, because they do wear through quite quickly. Look at that. Hardly any signs of wear. And I would say that's actually original as well. I don't think it's been trimmed, but the mileage will have a lot to do with that. We'll come to it in a second. I didn't mention we're wired for CCTV. There we go. 266,000 kilometres. It's done now, has it? Done absolutely yee-haw. And again, that's another selling point. New lick of paint, alloy wheels, nice clean seats, low mileage. What more do you want? Fridge in the dashboard, and then to finish the job you've got the standard Yutong ironing board, which allegedly doubles as a courier seat, and other than that we're all done. As I said, it's probably one of the cleanest you'll ever see for the age. There'll be no sort of people coming and kicking the tyres on this. The first to see it will buy it. I'm fairly confident in saying that. Anyway, to recap, it's a 2015 on a 15 registration Yutong TC9 35 seat coach.